Okay, so we know that we can have a slope, a y-intercept, or a coordinate potentially hiding in a word problem. Now, let's see if we could think about some clues that'll tell us this is a slope, this is a y-intercept, this is a coordinate. I actually want to start with the y-intercept, which is the middle one that you guys suggested.
Also known as the start value.
What else do we sometimes call the y-intercept?
Start value.
Oh, so the alternate name kind of tells us what hints we might have. So if I've got a problem and I'm being given an amount that's a starting amount, then it's probably the start value or the y-intercept, right?
Yeah.
So if you have an amount that's an initial amount or an amount that happens right at the beginning of the situation, that's probably your y-intercept, and you should grab it and use it as your y-intercept. So those are kind of the hints for the y-intercept. The hint comes from the alternate name. Since it's also the start value, look for a starting amount. So the y-intercept will always be an initial amount or something that represents or something that happens at the beginning of the situation. So initial amount or what happens at the beginning of the situation. Okay. So that's how you know if you have a y-intercept, if you have a start value, since that's what it's otherwise known as. Let's hop down here and talk about how do I know if I'm looking at a coordinate. Coordinate has kind of a giveaway. Here's the giveaway. How many numbers do I need for a coordinate? Two. So coordinates tend to kind of jump out compared to y-intercepts or slopes because then a coordinate, it has to be a pair of numbers. So you're going to have two numbers that go together as a pair. And that tells you, okay, those are going to be a coordinate. Y-intercept's going to be a single number. Slope's going to be a single number. Coordinate is going to be a pair of numbers that are connected to each other. So that's what you can look for, what'll tell you if something is a coordinate. So for a coordinate, look for a pair of numbers that go together, because you have to have two to make a coordinate. Okay. So y-intercept, beginning. Coordinate always comes in pairs. Now let's deal with the slope. What else do we call the slope sometimes? The operation. Okay. So let's go back and think. You guys have learned some things about this that'll help us figure out kind of what to look for and how I know if something's a slope. Let's say if I give you an operation for a sequence and I tell you the operation is +3. What is that telling me about the sequence?
It's going up by 3. That's the operation.
Yeah, we got an add-on. It's going up by 3 every time. So the operation is what happens each time, right? And you guys unknowingly just used a keyword for slope. Because the operation is what happens every time I go up or down. We need to look for something that's what we say incrementally happening. So something that's going up one at a time or going down one at a time, since that's what the operation or the slope does. There are some keywords. A minute ago, you guys said every, each. Can you guys think of another keyword?
Up and down.
Yeah. Miles per. Oh. Every, each, per. Those are all keywords that tell you this is going up each time. It is an operation or a slope. So when you're hunting for a slope, the best way to spot a slope is to look for those keywords that are operation keywords. Every, each, per. So, yeah, slope is what happens basically when you're going one at a time. So So it's what happens when you're going one at a time.
Yes.
That was a bad W. Or we'll say when counting one at a time, counting by ones. So that means it has some keywords, and the most popular ones you guys used and or just told me. So things like every, each, per. Those are the giveaway words that tells you that number is a slope or an operation. So this gives you hints. If you're reading through a problem and you're looking at the numbers in the problem, you can use these hints to help you decide, is this number a slope? Is this number a y-intercept? Or is this number a coordinate? And once you ID it, then you can pull it out and use one of our equation writing strategies that we've been using throughout the unit to get an equation for the situation.